In December, the world woke up to a message that shocked capitals across Europe, a message that shook intelligence agencies and rattled NATO command centers. Russia announced Pokrovsk has been captured, a simple sentence, but one that could change the direction of the entire war in Ukraine. Today, we dive deep into what this claim truly means and what it means to the world's stability. Is this the beginning of a turning point? Is this the moment Ukraine faces its biggest danger? Or could this be the spark that leads Russia and the West toward a confrontation no one ever imagined? Let's find out. On December 1st, Russian officials declared that their forces had taken full control of Pokrovsk, a city that has been one of the most strategic and fiercely defended locations in eastern Ukraine. The Ministry of Defense Russia Federation uploaded video that shows soldiers walking through what appears to be central Pokrovsk and raising the Russian flag in the city center. Independent verification by media outlets confirms that the buildings, road layout, and surroundings in the video match known satellite imagery and maps of Pokrovsk. So the location seems to be genuine. For Russia, such visuals, flag raising, troops walking through central squares are a powerful symbolic message. It serves as a propaganda tool to show victory, to demoralize defenders or civilians, and to influence international perception. Given the strategic importance of Pokrovsk, transport rail hub, and it is gateway in eastern Donetsk, even a partial shift in control there is militarily significant. For months, fighting around Pokrovsk was intense. Artillery strikes, drone warfare, street battles. Block by block, the city was torn apart. Ukraine has not fully confirmed this claim. Independent sources report ongoing clashes inside some areas. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even with the possibility that Russia might control Pokrovsk is enough to trigger worldwide alarm, because Pokrovsk isn't just another city. It is a key piece of the war's puzzle. To understand the impact, you need to understand the map. Pokrovsk sits at a critical crossroads. It has major rail lines, major highways, supply routes, access to deeper Ukrainian regions. This city was Ukraine's shield, protecting the western part of the Donetsk region. If that shield breaks, a massive opening appears, a corridor that Russia could use to push further, faster, and deeper than at any time in the last 2 years. Military analysts have called Pokrovsk the gateway city because whoever controls it controls the road ahead. Just imagine for a moment that Russia's claim is entirely accurate. Picture this. Russian troops fortify the city. Fresh reinforcements arrive. Armored columns begin pushing west. Ukrainian forces scramble to hold new defensive lines, and the front line begins to shift faster than expected. This scenario scares NATO. Why? Because Pokrovsk is not just a military victory, it's a psychological victory. The message becomes clear. Russia is advancing again. Ukraine is under pressure again. And Western support suddenly feels not enough. This is where things get dangerous. Ukraine has fought bravely for every inch of land, but losing Pokrovsk, even partially, no one creates a strategic gap. Supply lines become longer, troops become stretched, defensive positions become harder to maintain, and with winter arriving, the situation only becomes more critical. Cold weather slows movement, weakens morale, and complicates logistics. If Russia manages to hold Pokrovsk securely, it could prepare for a bigger push towards cities that remain under Ukrainian control. And that is exactly what Western governments fear. Inside NATO headquarters, the situation is viewed with deep concern. Because here's the question they must ask. If Ukraine begins losing more major cities, what will NATO do? Will they send more weapons, train more soldiers, increase involvement, or step back and avoid escalation? Each choice has consequences, and each one brings the world closer to a line that no one wants to cross. If NATO increases involvement, Russia could see it as a direct threat. If NATO decreases involvement, Ukraine could collapse faster. Both outcomes ignite risk. Both outcomes create tension. Both outcomes shape the future of Europe. This is the dilemma NATO never wanted. No one expects a direct war between Russia and the West. But here's the dangerous part. Wars don't start because people want them. Wars start because situations get out of control. A miscalculation, a wrong move, and an unexpected escalation. Pokrovsk could become the spark for such miscalculations, because if Ukraine's defenses weaken, Western pressure increases. Russia advances with confidence. The risk of accidental confrontation grows. This moment could be more dangerous than any moment in the past decade. If Pokrovsk truly falls, here's what may follow. New emergency sanctions, NATO's military on higher alert, increased American involvement, European panic over regional security, Russia gaining momentum, Ukraine asking for urgent reinforcements. Global global markets could shake, global stocks could drop, diplomats could rush to prevent escalation. Whether Russia truly controls Pokrovsk or not, one thing is undeniable. This moment has changed the atmosphere of the war. Pokrovsk is more than a city. It is a symbol, a warning, a turning point. If the claim is true, Ukraine faces one of the toughest tests in its history. NATO faces the hardest decisions it has ever made, and the world inches closer to a confrontation that could rewrite the future. Pokrovsk might be just one name on the map, but today it represents the fragile line between war and something far more dangerous. The world is watching. The next moves will decide everything.